Hi and welcome to this video. My name is Irene Kinuthia. Today I want to talk a bit about life skills. They're so important. We talk about them all the time. So I took time recently to just pick my top 10 life skills of things that I think everyone needs to know or know how to do. So some it's just to know, others is to know how to do. So I want to share my top 10 and I would really want to hear your top 10, so make sure that after this you put in your comments the ones that you feel I should have included or the ones you would include yourself, and let's have a conversation about this. Yeah, they make life much easier. So the first one in my list is basic cooking. You know, it's nice to eat out, but hotel food has an expiry date. You reach a point where you don't want to eat out. You know, if you've gone out for work or a conference or even just a family holiday, you reach a point where you just want your normal taste of food. So if you have to wait for someone to make for you that normal taste of food, then I think you become a bit handicapped. Yeah? So it's a good thing to know how to make some basic dishes that you can eat and share with family or friends. And if you already are good in cooking, so these basic dishes are, you know, a no-brainer for you, then I think you should put in a few exotic dishes into the things you can do. I think they add quite a bit to your brand if you know how to cook some of these exotic dishes. The second one on my list is how to operate a computer or a laptop. Well, you may laugh because maybe you do it so easily and it's part of life. You can't imagine without a computer how life would be. Well, but some of us were born in an era where we used to use a typewriter. Yes, a typewriter. And you can imagine when you make a mistake in that typewriter, the process of correcting that mistake was, you can't even imagine. So let's appreciate the laptops that we have and get to know how to maneuver, get to know how to make a good presentation using it, get to know how to align a document properly, you know, and of course whatever goes with it, like the Google searches, how to make use of Google and get the information that you want. You know, just get comfortable with technology, especially the computer. Of course your phone also, that you don't only use 5% of it, that you get to know some of the functions that are there. Yeah, it makes life much better. Number 3 for me is public speaking, at least basic public speaking. You know, you should be able to pitch an idea and have people take interest, or tell a story even if it's to a select audience and capture their attention. You should, at the very least, be able to introduce yourself in an interesting and concise manner, you know. So being able to speak in public, and public here doesn't mean 1,000 people, you know, you don't need to be Martin Luther King, but at least an audience of 5, 10, you know, if you're making a presentation in your chama or in a small gathering, or you're told to stand up and, you know, say something to the birthday girl or birthday boy, you know, that you can stand up and make that public speech. Yeah, so that's a skill to pick if you don't have, or to polish the one you already have. I think the next one is also important. It's at my number 4, speed reading. You know, if you're to make good conversations with different people, then you need to feed your mind, and you can't read all books cover to cover or all articles. You just need the gist of a certain article. So for that to happen, you need to be able to skim through and get that juicy part of the article. So speed reading is a great skill to have. and you can learn it. I mean, use Google search to get a few ideas on how to be a speed reader and be able to get things into your brain that you can use to make, deeper conversations, because shallow conversations can irritate quite a number of people. So we want to be able to make substantial conversations. Okay. Number 5 is to remember names. Don't know whether it happens to you, but sometimes it happens to me. It used to quite a bit. Now I am improving, and that's why I have put this as number 5. That even in your children's party, your child introduces you to a friend, and 2 minutes later, who are you again? And who are you again? And and worse still, if it's the name of a client or somebody who you thought was key in your networks, and you forget their names. So use some tricks to remember people's names. But the most basic trick is actually to take interest when you're making a conversation with somebody, because if you take keen interest, somehow your brain registers their name more deeply. So take that interest. The other thing you can do is to, as soon as the person leaves, is to repeat their name over and over, so that it somehow imprints a bit in your mind. And then the one which is common that people use is to associate the name with something, either a place or another person so that there's a bit of a link. But whatever trick you're going to use, practice remembering people's names. I think it's a good skill to have. Okay? Number 6, how to travel light. Sometimes packing can be a nightmare, even when you're going for just, a one-night seminar, and you carry a suitcase the size of your 6-year-old. Being able to pack light is not just a skill that helps you with get a lighter suitcase with you. It also somehow helps you to shed off things you don't need in your life, thoughts you don't need, emotions that are baggage. You lighten yourself. So it's not just with the clothes, being able to pick only the things you need, but it also somehow helps you to offload other things that you don't need. So I think it's something to practice. So next time you're going, take the risk. Pack only what you need, leave the rest. And it might even make you more innovative. If you burn an outfit, I have a colleague who actually we traveled with the other day, and in the morning when she was ironing her outfit, she burnt and she didn't have a spare one. So she had to be quite creative in managing to wear that outfit. So, but even that, creativity in a forced circumstance. So traveling light is a nice skill. At number 7 is how to give and take directions. Just having a bit of geography in the smaller network where you operate most of the days, but also in the wider network, that you have an idea of which country is next to which one in a discussion is important. But more seriously, to be able to get directions. When you have asked for directions and 2 minutes later you're on the phone again, says exactly what did you say? Do I turn right here? Do I turn left? People can start questioning your intelligence. So, and it's just making the effort to be able to know when you're told a right turn, or when you're giving someone directions, that you learn to check landmarks in a place, that you learn to describe things. Left, don't turn this way, turn right, turn left, take a bend, practicing that. And what I have used to learn this skill a bit is using Google Maps. Because what happens with Google Maps, even if you're going to a place is that when it's on loudspeaker, it tells you the name of the road, and it even gives you an estimate of the distance. So in 200 meters, turn left. So it actually improves your capacity to estimate distances. It gives you names of roads that you have never taken notice of. Yeah. Another thing I've also been doing recently is taking a different route to the same place. So if I have used this road, I take the risk of using another road so that I discover it could be a dead end and you have to come back, but at least you get to discover what's on the other side. Yeah. So the next time you get giving directions and somebody is lost, you're able to unlost them, if I may use that word. At number 8 is how to perform some basic first aid. You never know who needs it. You know, somebody chokes or somebody faints, and you need to have some basic skill on managing a situation like that. Yeah, it's a very common thing sometimes when you go for team building or just a fun exercise that somebody skids and falls. I've seen that happen even in sports days in schools. And it's very nice when somebody stands up and says, no, this is what we need to do, put the person in this position, you know. So getting to read a bit about those basic first aid skills, I think is a nice skill to have. Okay. Number 9, how to make a simple budget and how to manage your time. Okay. And I've put those two together because I think those are two resources that are quite related, because you need to somehow know how much of the resource you have and what you need to use it for, and spread it accordingly. So how much time do I have and how many things do I need to do with that time is a way of budgeting, but you're budgeting time. And then the same with the cash resource, the money resource. How much money do I have and what things do I need to do and how do I prioritize? So that skill of being able to budget for your money and budget for your time can make life a whole lot easier. So something new to learn if you already don't know, or sharpen it if you already have the skill. And the final thing is listening to others. Active listening, that you are not listening so as to respond or to ask a question. You're actually listening to understand. You're listening not just to the words, you're listening to the tone, you're listening to the emotion of that person. That skill takes you far. You know, even if it is you're in a place where you're negotiating for something, when you listen to the other party well, you're able to propose a win-win settlement in a situation, or just understanding the emotions behind what the person is saying so that you don't give irrelevant advice. So listening is a great tool. And of course, you know, we learn a lot from listening. If you're the only one doing the talking, then for sure you get information out, but you don't get information back. So the only way to get information to yourself is by listening. So it's a good skill to have. Try it. Well, I can't listen to you in this video, but I do want to hear your comments, because that's the way I can also learn. So be sure to make your comments and let me hear your top 10. What is your list of top 10 life skills? And let's have a discussion around this. But that's where mine end. Thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do and be part of us. Thank you so much.